So it all started with a golf ball. Probably about like 2 months ago, I found a golf ball in my backyard, and I've lived here 3 years. And it was like half buried in the dirt, and everything had thawed from the winter. So I dug it out and just thought, wow, this is a random golf ball. And I put it on the side of my driveway and just let it sit there. So, fast forward about like a week, and I go in for a mammogram follow up, the diagnostic. I'd had the regular one in September, I think, of last year. And so I go in, and it was, I don't remember if it was both boobs or one, but, anyways, I mentioned to the mammogram technician that I had kind of a larger mass in the left boob because am I allowed to say boob now that I think about this? Is this going to get flagged? Do I need to come up with another word for that? Maybe I do. I feel like it's fine. But, anyways, so there was a mass in the left when they were like, oh, when did you notice this? And I was like, well, I've been having mammograms since I'm in my 30s, and cysts just pop up and disappear all the time. So I don't know when I noticed it because I stopped paying attention to them. Mind you, I'm 49 right now, so started in my 30s with mammograms, and every so often I would have to go back for the diagnostic, and then it would be fine. And so this has just been like every time I do this, it just happens. So the lady was like, all right, great. So she did the mammograms, and then I went in for the ultrasound, the diagnostic. So I was there way longer than I thought I was going to be. They did two different nurses did the ultrasounds. Like one did them all, and then the other one came in and like redid her work basically. And they had told me that they needed to do that before they went to the doctor, and were like, hey, this is what we found. So I expected to be like out of that place early, and I think I had checked in like at 7:45 or something. And I technically did not get home, I want to say, until like 10:30, but I just live 5 minutes from the hospital. So they did all that, and then they told me that they were going to need to do biopsies, and so they were going to set up appointments for that. And it was two different sets of biopsies because they needed to do both of the girls. Maybe we'll just refer to them as girls. Um, and they couldn't do them both in the same day because the amount of lidocaine you could get, I think, was what they had said. But I had like a meeting at 11 o'clock. So by the time that the like scheduling nurse came in, I knew I had to get home because I wasn't expecting to be gone that long. So go in on the 27th, which was a Friday, 27th of March, and I have the core biopsy. So that was interesting because I hadn't had that before, and it's like it's referred to like as the staple gun or nail gun biopsy because it makes a noise like thunk when it goes in and takes the sample. So I get that done. My mom was with me, but she wasn't going to come in the room. So she just basically like, drove me there. And then afterwards, we got breakfast. But had that done, wasn't too bad. The only thing that, the worst part was having to sleep with the sports bra on at night because I do not like things on when I'm sleeping at night. But I did it, it was fine. And so then that was on a Friday, the 27th. And then on a Tuesday, I got my results back. And at first, when I looked at the results, which I hate that they hit your chart before the doctor actually sees you or talks to you, because then you're just like speculating and looking up all this stuff. So I Googled the or what, I don't know if it's a diagnostic or whatever it was on there, because I was like, I don't know what half of these words mean. And I was trying to interpret it, and at first I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have cancer, yay. And then I remember I sent the results to my mom, who was an RN at a women's clinic. So I was on the phone with her, and she was like, well, I don't know, the word invasive to me, I don't know, but let's just wait for your doctor to call. I didn't even like, I read what invasive was, that it like breaks apart, but like in my head I'm still thinking it's not cancerous and it's just a mass that's breaking apart because I don't know anything about this stuff. So then it was like around 2 o'clock, and I get a call, and I was actually in a client meeting, but luckily I was just there to listen for the most part. So I went off camera, and then I started taking the call, and it was just bizarre, like how they're like, we're so sorry we have to deliver this news. You have cancer. Like, I felt like I was on television, like, kind of like out of body. Like, I was just watching something. And I don't know, like, my reaction was just like, well, this sucks. So then I went in and I like messaged in the meeting that I had to drop, messaged my boss that I got the bad news and I was going home. So I cried out my way home. I mean, it was just like tears streaming down my face. I wasn't like, "Ah," or anything like that. And I kept thinking, man, if somebody's sitting next to me in traffic right now, they're like, what is wrong with this girl? And also, slight pause because I know you're probably over here going, what is this thing in the corner over here? So that is my dog, which I'm not going to say his name right now because he's actually calm. But anytime there's any sort of STORM, he freaks out. So it's gotten so bad that when it RAINS, because he's figured out when I spell things, he goes nuts. So all day he's been driving me nuts. And I just got back from my second biopsy. So, anyways, burp, 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 let's go back. So so that's it. So I get home, I call the number that I'm calling for like the cancer place, and the lady was very nice, and I was just kind of making jokes with her, and she said something like, well, if you drink wine, you might want to have wine. And I was like, well, I'm getting high as soon as I get off the phone with you. And she just started laughing. And then at the end of the call, she was like, all right, go get high now. And I did, and it made me feel a little better. But she basically had to like run my insurance before she could say what doctor I could go see, and that she'd call me back the next day. So then it's like I had to call my mom, called my dad, called my one sister, texted the other sister because I figured she was with her daughter, and didn't want to like call her during that. And my mom is living with her right now, so I figured my mom will give her all the details. She ended up calling me later in the day, and I talked to her too. So I kind of did that initial like outreach, and then told my really good friend that I hang out with all the time. So that was pretty much it. Lady called me back the next day and like said that they wanted to wait for the results of my second biopsy, which I just had today, and then they would, be able to deal with everything. So I have an appointment on 4/23 currently set up. Originally, she was like, "We have the week of 4/20," and I was like, "Well, I have 4/20 off because I take it off every year as my sabbatical." But she was like, "Oh, you probably don't want to do it on that day," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't." So we picked the Thursday. And then if my results from today's biopsy comes back benign, then I can move up my appointment potentially. So yeah, I am a smoker, so I definitely did not have breast cancer on my bingo card. I had lung cancer on my bingo card, so did not get that. I have spent time talking to people, Googling things, but I did stop Googling things and using ChatGPT after like the first 2 days because there's just way too many wormholes you can go down, rabbit holes, wormholes, I don't know. But I'm just gonna wait for the appointment. But I have gotten some like thoughts, I would call them thoughts from other people, which I still appreciate those because it gives me an idea of what potential path I could be going down. Like, I like knowing what's next. And if I don't know what's next, I'm just going to make stuff up. And that's what I'm going to do. So I don't want to make stuff up. So I'm just like, I'm going to know my paths. I don't know which one I'm going to go down, but at least now I'm not like jumping to the worst conclusion. So today I had my second biopsy, and I mean, the crap us women have to go through. It is just uncomfortable. 100%. Like, it was the right one this time, which is just more like cysts, but those are like, they pop up and disappear all the time. So that one I had I think they refer to it as like stat or something like that, but you literally like lay on a table, there's a big hole, and your girl hangs through the hole. And then they do everything like with a guided needle with the computer using the mammogram to do it because I guess the mammogram sees deeper into you, which I did not know. The mammogram is deeper than the ultrasound. So that's why they do that. And that's why you should get a mammogram and not just do ultrasounds. I'm saying this to somebody in my family that I heard just recently does that because they think that mammograms are what cause cancer. So yeah, past that point though. So I'm laying on this table. It's so uncomfortable because one, you have one of your girls hanging through the table. It's a hard table. So like my rib was like pressing against the lip of like where this hole was. And you lay there for like, I want to say it was like 20, maybe 25 minutes. And then you're like laying there with your head, it's at a weird angle. And then if you don't have your arms in the position where they're the most comfortable before it starts, you're stuck. You can't move your arm until they're done. So I had put one back, but I had left the other one up thinking I was comfortable, but I was not. So this arm's like falling asleep, the shoulder hurts and everything. But they went through, did everything. That was fine. And then I had to wait and do the core one get after that. So then I go and do that, and they were able to aspirate, I think, one of them and half aspirate a second one. There were three in the right. And then they did two cores, but that doctor said that she thinks that they're going to be benign. So, yay. But at this point, I'm like, I already have cancer. It's grade 2, invasive. It started in my ducts, and the lady that called me from my gyno office said something about lymph nodes, that they think it might have gotten into the lymph nodes. I don't know. I don't know how they even know any of this stuff yet. So I don't know. I'm just like, I know I'm going to have surgery to remove it. It's, oh, back to the golf ball. So it's 3.5 centimeters, which I looked up how big that was. And then because I had just felt it and thought it was like the size of a golf ball. So golf ball is just a little over 4 centimeters. So pretty much a golf ball. So now I'm like, oh my God, that was an omen in my backyard that I found this random golf ball. I don't live near any golf courses. It's like, it was my backyard. There's a house right behind me. They're definitely not playing golf in their backyard. So it's just random that it's there. I mean, it could have been there, and maybe somebody buried it 3 years before I got here, or before I got here, and with the ground like sinking, maybe it just popped up because I haven't seen it, and the lawn gets mowed all the time. So basically, the golf ball was an omen. So I cleaned up the golf ball. It's inside my house right now. In another video, maybe the golf ball will make a spotlight. But after I beat all this, I am planning on doing something symbolic with this golf ball. I've been given the suggestion of taking it to a rage room and using it to break things, which so far is a pretty good suggestion. I think my mom said to just smash it with a hammer, which would be a good suggestion too. But knowing the way my luck is, it's probably gonna backfire and like hit me in the head or something. But yeah, so this is the beginning of my story. It's sad. I'm scared. At nighttime, my mind goes down these like rabbit holes, and I kind of cry at nighttime. But during the day, I'm solid. I use jokes as my defense mechanism. Sarcasm is my only defense, and I don't mind it. It's my way of dealing with things. And if I can make people laugh, even when we're talking about my situation, that's a win for me. I don't want to be too serious about it, even though I know it's a serious thing. But like, I think it's like, I heard 1 in 8 women have breast cancer. Insane. Why so many people? Why are we just built this way? What are boobs good for? Nothing. Get rid of them. I don't need them. So I'm also going to be getting the DNA test. It has something to do with BRCA is the word. Because my biological father, who I did not know, but randomly like messaged me way, way, way late in my life, and I was literally like, just give me the medical history. Well, he ended up dying of prostate cancer. So yeah, that's fun. And I had an aunt that had breast cancer, an aunt that had lung cancer. So I'm kind of thinking that test doesn't come back positive. My thoughts: I'm gonna end up with a double mastectomy. I would like to go down a cup size while I'm at it, because why not? I'd like to wear tighter shirts or get smaller shirts. But so right now, I've been home since 11. It's like about 4 o'clock right now. And the right one definitely hurts more than the left one did, but I also have 3 holes in the right one, and I'm right-handed, so I think it's like, even though you're not supposed to do things and use it sparingly, I'm still using it sparingly. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get through this. I have a great network of people. My work is fabulous. Everybody like steps in, and like I have friends at work, like real friends at work, not like work friends where you wouldn't be friends with them afterwards. I mean, on my best friend I actually met at my job. She doesn't work there anymore, but like we're still best friends. She's gonna be going with me to the consult. My mom is gonna be on the phone at the consult. So yeah, I have a good network, friends that are willing to help out. There's a lady at work who I'm dying for her to ask me if I need anything because she makes the best collard greens in the world. And my boss told me that if people ask me if I need anything, to don't be shy and ask and like make a list. So when she said this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm asking for collard greens. So I'm really hoping this lady at work is like, can I do anything? And I'll just be like, make me a batch of collard greens. I'm gonna eat those all week long. So yeah, so I'm keeping light spirits. And right now I'm making this video. I'm gonna put it on my channel as private. At some point, I'm probably gonna release it out into the wild, hoping that my thoughts and positive attitude might be infectious to other people going through this. So yeah, and then let's take a look at that little booth that's rolled up in pink over there. I mean, it's kind of fitting that I got him pink before I knew all this. So maybe that was a sign too. But yeah. So more to come. This is just the beginning of my journey, and yeah. So now I just wait for the next results to come through. So good times.